What did I learn from week 13 of the NFL? Oh my goodness. I learned the teams have officially give up, like I say. Other teams are playing in spoilers. Other teams are competing just for draft picks. And the fans are just ready to crowd a fucking Super Bowl champion right now. Come on, guys, it's week 13. A lot of things can still happen. Fucking teams in the NFC with the losing record can still somehow get in. A lot of stuff can happen right now. We got a lot of games. We got 14, 15, 16, and 17. 4 more weeks. Injuries can happen. Turnaround seasons can happen, believe it or not. And let's just play one game at a time. After starting 3-0 on Thursday night games, I win 6-6 on Sunday, which is pretty fucking bad. My overall ended up being 9-7, but like I said, I started pretty good with a 3-0 record on Thursday night game. It's fucking bullshit, man. Well, let's go. Let's get this shit started. I even picked the fucking rice spread and the right over and under on Thursday night game last week, man. 3 fucking games, man. Jesus. Dallas at Chicago. Chicago actually looked good against a fucking winless Detroit. Like I said, Detroit had already give up. They just ran the clock. Um, Chicago, I think they're actually playing just for draft picks and maybe to keep the head coach job. Dallas, Dallas still playing for a playoff spot, but I think if the players actually like Jason Garrett, they should start playing for his job also because Jerry Jones came up and say some things and shake up a little bit all the fans, and now everybody's talking about Jerry Jones is gonna fire Jason Garrett. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not, but I think he's walking on thin ice. I I thought he was gonna get fired this year before the season started. I thought he was one of the coaches who started the season on the hot seat, but somehow Dallas got on a hot streak and somehow became the hottest offense in the league, which is still hard for me to believe that. Um, I don't think that they're as dangerous as they think they are, and I don't know how they dropped the last 2 3 games. So I don't know. I mean, Dallas is panicking right now. I'm taking Dallas over Chicago because, like I said, they're still competing for a playoff spot, and I think they got more reasons to fight for the playoff spot than Chicago. Well, Chicago don't have any chances whatsoever, in my opinion. Carolina and Atlanta. The same thing happened with Carolina this week. They fired their coach Ron Rivera, which, in my opinion, he's a great coach. I think they're gonna regret that. The man took this team to the Super Bowl, had a winning record, and right now, without the starting quarterback, they were actually doing pretty good. They had a pretty good winning record. They dropped the last 3 4 games. I know it probably sucked to lose against Washington. Um, but they are just below 500. They are 5-7, and they're entering the week against Atlanta, which they're playing spoilers with a 3-9 record. They got nothing to fight for them. They just want to fucking make somebody's life miserable. Really, that's all Atlanta is doing right now. They got spanked against Tampa Bay last week. Atlanta got spanked, so it's gonna be interesting to see how Carolina plays under a new interim coach. Uh, I actually don't even know who's coaching this week. In soccer, usually whenever a new coach come in, an interim coach takes over, they usually play better and they usually win. It has happened. It has seen some cases like that in football, like Washington when they fired Jay Gruden. I feel like they start playing a little harder, but just for a game or two, and then they went back to the same old bullshit. But I don't know. No, actually, they beat Carolina. So um, I my last money, my last chips were on Kyle Allen. I'm sorry, I cannot. I ran out of money. I don't have any more chips to put on Kyle Allen. I I think just because of the last 3 or 4 games, how his game has been declining little by little, I think now you have to keep Cam. I think now you have to give Cam one more chance. Um, I personally was ruling for Cam to go out, Cam needing to go out into another team, just because I wanted to see him under a new team with a fresh start. I like that quarterback. That quarterback is great. I would take him in New England. Uh, but I don't know if that's what New England is looking for after Brady retires. Anyways, um, I'm I would really want to go with Carolina just because I can't. I hate when the coaches go back and forth with their quarterbacks. Um, I don't want to go back to my starting quarterback right now. I'm just gonna write it out and start fresh next season with Cam Newton again, or at least both quarterbacks compete for a job. You know what I mean? But I just don't know what to do with Carolina. I just they have let me down, and at this point, Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in second place. Like I say, they still have a chance to somehow sneak in the playoffs. It's gonna be very difficult, but the numbers they still give them a chance. So I'm gonna go with Atlanta just because they are at home, and ah, Carolina has this is one of the first weeks that I have picked against. One of the few weeks that I have picked against Carolina. I think I only picked against Carolina when they played the Packers a few weeks ago. Now, here comes one of the games of the week. This is a marquee game right here. Baltimore at Buffalo. Last week, I picked San Francisco to beat Baltimore and an upset. And San Francisco has the defense to stop the running game. I think the advantage was from Buffalo because, to Baltimore because they were playing at home. Both games had to play under a shitty weather condition, which it still ended up being a great game. I think it was a good game. I don't think the weather ruined the game. But San Francisco then had enough to upset Baltimore. Now Buffalo has the defense to do the same type of damage, shut that running game, and have Lamar Jackson throw the ball. He only threw for 100 yards, 106, 107 yards against the 49ers. You know, Buffalo has the defense to shut him down like that and make him throw the ball. Now, the only thing that I'm a little concerned, it's the offense. Can the offense put some points against Baltimore? Now, another key about beating Baltimore, you got to get on top quick. Or if you're not going to jump on top quick, at least do like San Francisco, head to head. Try to score first, and when they score, try to go score again. And when they score, try to go score again. Keep it a tie game. Make it take the game into the fourth quarter and make them do a mistake or two at the end of the game where you can capitalize. I'm gonna go with Baltimore again just to pick the upset, just because I have to have an upset everywhere I go. Um, but it's gonna be a great, great game. I can't wait to watch that one. Cincinnati and Cleveland. Oh my god, this is a shitty game. I will actually look at the tickets for this game. The cheapest tickets for a Cincinnati Cleveland right now. They go at the John Brown Stadium. They go for the cheapest ones. They go for $18, man. Can you believe that shit? $18. We are almost in 2020. And the cheapest tickets to go see a football game on week 13, it's 18 fucking dollars. Oh my god, just let that shit sink in for a minute. That's what you get. You get to see a team that is 5-7 versus 1-11. Oh my god. I don't know who to go. I'm gonna go actually go back to. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and pick Cleveland just because they're at home. I don't think Cincinnati's win another game this year. I say last week though, Cincinnati could probably win against the Jets or against Miami. That's the only two chances they had. They're not gonna beat Cleveland, man. Washington and Green Bay. Green Bay at home. You gotta go with him. Too much. Washington. I don't know how they got lucky to beat Carolina at Carolina. Actually, but the Green Bay is a different animal. Aaron Rodgers can put some points on that defense. Detroit and Minnesota. Minnesota's hurt because of that loss against Seattle Monday Night Football, and it's gonna want to come back strong. They had defense. They have Kirk Cousins playing good. It was just a tougher opponent against Seattle over there at the with the 12 men with the 12 fans. So Detroit, like I say, they just riding the club down. San Francisco and New Orleans. This is another marquee game right here. Woo. By the way, at the end of this video, I'm gonna put my top three power rankings for both AFC and NFC, just like I did a few weeks ago. Whew, New Orleans and San Francisco. Man, I got my DVR set up for this one. I I got too much stuff to do this weekend, so I'm gonna watch this game, and I'm recording this game because I wanna watch it with detail. I don't want to just sit down and watch highlights like I did against, or a little pieces here and there against, like I did against San Francisco and Baltimore. Um, it's hard to watch all the games at once. So New Orleans it's an offense that can put points against just anybody. They're as good as they get on the in this league. But that defense can travel. You saw San Francisco went up to Baltimore and travel, man. They slowed down the running game. Um, they have the secondary to slow down Michael Thomas, and it's gonna be a great game. New Orleans in that dome, it's hard to contain, man. It's very 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 hard to contain. Jimmy G is actually putting some good numbers, and Jimmy G is solid. He'll put some points against that defense, which honestly I think they match toe to toe, head to head. It's gonna be a fucking battle right there, though. You can go. It's gonna be it's gonna come down to the wire. Whoever end up with the ball last, just like it did against San Francisco against Baltimore, it came down to the end with Baltimore. Baltimore had it at the last second and scored a field goal. That's who's gonna win the game. Now it's very hard for me to tell you who's gonna have the ball at the last minute, and I already picked an upset. Otherwise, I would have picked San Francisco just for the hell of it, just to have an upset. And I don't like the way I'm doing all these home game things, though. But I just, damn it. I just gonna stick with New Orleans just because I picked them at the beginning of the season to go to the Super Bowl. I think this is their year. If it's not now, when? If it's not now, it's never gonna be. So San Francisco is a young team. They have a good running game. They have a quarterback for the future. They have defense for the future. If this is not the year, it could be next year or it could be the year after that. Who knows? They got time. New Orleans is running out of time. New Orleans needs to win this game. They need to win this game. They need to move on and get the number one seed. That will put them so much higher in the percentage to make it to the Super Bowl. Miami at the Jets. These two teams are another two roller coaster teams. They're up and down, up and down. The Jets just fucking destroyed the Raiders the week before, and then they come and lose against Cincinnati. They gave Cincinnati their first victory of the season. It's just like a fucking roller coaster, man. And what about Miami? I thought Miami was giving up in the season, and then they go beat Philly. They actually went toe to toe with Philly, and they end up beating Philly at the last minute, though, which Philly is trying to make a run to the playoffs. I don't think Miami travels well up north, especially it's going to be cold as fuck. Which I forgot to tell you that about Buffalo and Baltimore, man. I think it's going to be a heavy lot of snow, a lot of snow up in there, and it's going to go down to the running game. So if that defense can shut that running game, that's another thing I'm aiming for Buffalo right here, though. So, like I said, I don't think Miami travels well, especially to the cold. So I'm picking the Jets. I don't like this all these home games. Indianapolis at Tampa Bay. Man, Indianapolis is so hurt. Kind of like New England, man. They don't have the top wide receiver. They losing players on the offensive line. Their center, the right guard. They just trying to use the good players like the left guard and the running game, and trying to just the quarterback trying to use whatever they have just in order to survive. If they can just survive and somehow sneak into the playoffs, hopefully they get everybody healthy by the game. And it's a new season. Once you're in the playoffs, it's a new season. So Tampa Bay, I'm done picking Tampa Bay. It's another fucking roller coaster team that is driving me fucking crazy. They think they have a chance with a 5-7 record. I think they fucking done. I'm picking the Colts to come to Tampa Bay and beat them over here. Denver, even with a fucked up team though. Denver at Houston. Man, Denver just keeps surprising me every time I see Denver, somehow they winning. Somehow they fucking winning a game. They 4-8, but somehow I feel like those 4 times that they have won, they have surprised me. I was not expecting them to win, um, especially last week against the Chargers. Then again, the Chargers are the team that you can beat at the very last minute. Houston looked good. Houston looked good at home against New England, and almost like New Orleans, they're good at home. Can they travel? I don't know. I still haven't seen travel. They went and got their ass whooped over there at Baltimore. So I don't think they can travel, but I sure as hell think they can beat Denver at home. Jacksonville and the Chargers. I think Jacksonville is done. They just ran the clock down. The Chargers, they had a little meltdown last week. Um, I think they need to make it up for it, and they'll go. I don't understand how the Chargers doing that bad though. That defense is good. The running game is good. Philip Rivers is a good quarterback. They have a good receivers in Allen. I just don't know what's going on with the Chargers. They got a good tight end also. I mean, good, well coached team. I don't understand. I mean, I know it's a tough division though, with Denver and Kansas City and now Oakland trying to survive, but I just don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand what's happening with Chargers. You know, it's one of those teams that they just can't seem to click. They were even talking about benching Philip Rivers if he performs bad again. So I think a change is coming up in LA. Maybe a new quarterback in the new draft. Maybe a rebuild season. I don't know. Maybe something is coming up for the new LA team. Tennessee at Oakland. Another two roller coaster teams. Tennessee is entering the week with a 3-game winning streak. This division is for up for grabs. Titans are 5-7, just one game behind uh, the Texans. So if somehow Houston can slip in one of the upcoming games and Tennessee just keep winning, they're gonna make things difficult over there for the AFC South. Um, but this is the perfect game where like this team is entering with a winning streak, 3 winning game streak, and Oakland is coming with a 2-game losing streak. This is the perfect game where like whoop, all the momentum goes to Oakland and somehow they end up beating Tennessee. Um, I hope I'm wrong. I'm really hope I'm wrong. Shit, I was gonna pick Oakland that's why I keep saying I hope I'm wrong. But no, I just gotta go with the ads. I think I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Now the way Oakland has lost the last couple of games. I mean, they look horrible against the Jets, and then they just look like they give up. Like they don't play this season against Kansas City. So Kansas City and New England, this is gonna be another big game, especially in the AFC. Um, I was actually at the beginning of the season. I was actually looking for this game because Kansas City being the hot team last year, which now this year is Baltimore. You know, they the new Baltimore is the new Kansas City from last year. Uh, at the beginning of the season, I was looking forward for this season, especially when we acquired Antonio Brown. I thought our offense was gonna just fucking take off, And oh, by the way, for all the motherfuckers who keep crying and saying, "Oh, bring back Antonio Brown, bring back Antonio Brown," yeah, maybe Antonio Brown can help us out, but Antonio Brown is not the solution for the problems that we have in New England. Um, I'm we have a lot of problems. I actually think we have a lot of problems, but they're all fixable. You know, like the wide receivers not getting open. Okay, we just gotta put him in a better situation. Uh, um, Brady's having actually a lot of time to throw the ball, so they are protecting him. A lot of people say the offensive line is so banged up. Yeah, they are banged up. We've been banged up all season, to be honest. But once again, Brady has enough time to throw the ball. The receivers just need to open a little more. And another thing too, I'm questioning a little bit the play calling. Um, I don't know why we're throwing the ball down the field to Edelman. I know he's our only receiver or our best receiver, but he's a slot receiver. He is not a deep threat, especially now when he's double cover. Another thing I'm questioning is the run, the play calling with the personnel. You know, I feel like you throwing the ball to Sonny Michel when Sonny Michel is a running back. Just run the ball with Sonny Michel. You're running the ball with James White. James White is a fucking running back who catches passes from the backfield. Another thing too, we gotta use Burkhead a little more, man. Like I say, our play calling, I'm questioning that shit though. I don't know if it's McDaniels. I don't know what's going on, man. Some of this play calling, I don't like it. I think we have a team good enough to win a Super Bowl, or at least make a good push to the playoffs, make it all the way to the Super Bowl and everything. I don't want to get there and lose the game, but I mean, something has to change, and it has to change like now, like right now. We gotta have at least our last two games is against Miami and against Buffalo. Those two games we have to look our best, playing our best football. But we're not gonna get there if we don't start now. So I'm picking against New England, not only because it's my team. I feel like at home we can slow down Kansas City. I mean, we have slowed down Kansas City, but then again, I feel like I jinxed myself last week saying that we have slowed down Deshaun Watson in the past with a okay defense, and now that we have a better defense, Deshaun Watson just fucking threw for 4 touchdowns against us. I don't know. I don't really know what happened with our defense last week. It's our first game we don't have a turnover. I don't know if it was part of the flu or what happened. Um, we just look slow on defense for some reason though, which it's hard to look slow twice on a season against with New England. So that's why I'm picking New England. Pittsburgh at Arizona. I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh, and just for one thing, I'm gonna say, like I say, I'm gaining a lot of respect for Mike Tomlin. The coach is just doing his thing. Um, I thought the season was over at week 3. I thought might even get fired. There were rumors at one point, and the man is cocky about it, but it's one of those guys that doesn't bother you, his attitude. Like he has the attitude, the winning mentality, which I love that about him. Though I didn't think he can have a great season, especially with their third string quarterback. But they are 5-7. They are 5-7, playing better than the Browns, which there is way more talent in Cleveland than Pittsburgh right now. If if you look at the rosters, there's way more talent on Cleveland than Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh has 2 wins, 2 more wins than Cleveland. That tells you something about Mike Tomlin. That's a hell of a coach. He might even win a coach of the year, to be honest. I think that's a hell of a job that he's doing over there. Seattle LA. Whew. Now, if you like the NFC West, if you follow the NFC, if your team is in the NFC, man, the NFC West is uh, the hottest rivalry right now going on into the end of the season. This is the fourth quarter of the season. Like I said before, we got Seattle at LA. We got Seattle at San Francisco. The other way around, I'm sorry. San Francisco at Seattle. And then they got the Rams playing San Francisco again. They're going to play each other one more time. And this is just great to me. Seattle, this is their last chance. Last week, I said that was their last chance. And they won against Arizona. So every time they keep winning, they have another chance. Once they have the one more loss, it's over for LA. It's over. So this is one more chance. This is the last chance against Seattle at home. I don't think this is an upset. Like I said, they just cannot afford to lose the game. They just can't. And that's the reason why I'm picking them, because they just can't afford to lose the game. I think Seattle's a better team. I think Seattle somehow is going to end up winning the season, the division. Seattle's going to the playoffs. There's no doubt about the Seattle and the 49ers. Both teams are going to the playoffs. The only thing is who's going to go as number one or two, or a 5. That's how your number is going to be. 1, 2, or a 5. And one of those two teams is going to be one. These three teams going to be Seattle, New Orleans, and San Francisco. Maybe not in that order, but that's the top 3 right there. And I probably just give you my power rankings right there since I fucked up. But that's how big this game is. I think LA somehow needs to win this game and look for a miracle. So I'm going with LA Rams. They have to win this game. They have to. The same thing with the Giants and Philadelphia. Philadelphia has to win the Monday night game. They just have to. If they really want to go into the playoffs, they have to. New York is just playing for draft picks. They talking about they want to put Eli Manning back into the starting lineup. Somehow, if Eli plays this game, I actually believe Eli can go and fucking light up fucking Philadelphia. So I'm actually gonna write it down right here. If Eli plays, I'm going with New York, though, to be honest. Especially after Eli has sat down most of the season and just watch somebody else play, do whatever he wants with his team. Man, Eli is gonna show everybody that he's not done playing, and I think he's gonna play next year, regardless of what everybody thinks. I didn't like all my home away picks. So I'm just gonna go like crazy, just for the hell of it, just to make something interesting. Especially after I went with a 6-6 record last week. I'm gonna keep my Thursday night pick like that, but I'm gonna go with Carolina. This is just wild picks. I think like just because I'm desperate, just because I'm desperate. I'm gonna go with Baltimore right here. I'm going with Cleveland, Green Bay, Minnesota. Since this is not an upset pick no more, this is going to be my upset pick. San Francisco. I'm going with the Jets. Fucking Tampa Bay pisses me off. Go with Tampa Bay, Houston, LA, Tennessee. One rule, everybody knows it. Never pick against New England. Pittsburgh, Seattle. And I think Eli is going to play, so I'm going to go with the Giants. The orange are my wild picks. If you're looking to put some money in it, go with the orange. If you just want to listen to what I say, hey, at the end of the day, this is just an advice. This is just an advice. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do, man. Let's go do my power rankings real quick, man. It's taking too long in this video. I'm gonna start with the AFC, and I'm gonna start with number 3. I think Kansas City is number 3. I think everybody has forgot about Kansas City, and maybe they don't believe in Kansas City because of the defense. And but Patrick Mahomes is legit. The offense is good. The offense can put all kinds of points against just anybody, and you'll see it this Sunday against New England. Everybody plays hard against New England, but they're gonna put some points. And Kansas City is dangerous. It's a dangerous team. Um, Houston could probably be right below, but I don't think Houston can go into Kansas City. Another thing, it affects a lot the way who's hosting who. But right now, I think Kansas City is my top 3. I think they're better team than Houston, to be honest. Number 2, it'll be New England. I think our defense is good, special teams is good, our offense will get better, and they'll play well. They play much better at the end of the season. Number 1, it'll be Baltimore, and Baltimore is the only. It's so there is the every team has a blueprint to get beat. Baltimore blueprint to get beat, shut the running game. Now the problem is that's a very good running game. To me, one of the best running games in the league. And I think not just anybody can shut down that running game. Maybe just about 2 or maybe 3 teams who can shut this running game. Once you make Lamar Jackson throw from the pocket, they don't even have good receivers, good wide receivers. So then you can hurt Baltimore. I mean, they lost a few games, so there's a blueprint to beat them. But right now, this is just power rankings. This is just how I feel entering into the week 14, how they looking. And number 3 in NFC, number 3, I think my number 3 is gonna be Seattle. Seattle has a good team. Seattle has Russell Wilson playing at a high level. Seattle has 3 good wide receivers that I love. I think all 3 of them are good. And they pick up Josh Gordon, which they don't even need him. They don't need him. But just kind of like New England, though. That's why I miss Josh Gordon right now, because we didn't need him. But having him, it's something that allows you to get even better just by having him. Just make him run a few runs, quick routes, and it's gonna have. If he's not open, he's gonna have somebody else open. Number 2, my number 2 team, I think, is New Orleans, and the only reason why is because San Francisco has a better defense, I think.